Hello my good friends, my name is Arith Härger and today I'm going to talk about the act of gift giving. As it is often said within the heathen communities, a gift calls for a gift. But sometimes we may not have the sense of the actual meaning behind gift giving. I thought it would be interesting to share with you a more practical and spiritual approach to this act of giving out gifts and the importance of receiving something in return. During the Yule season, there is always this idea of giving gifts to someone, but unfortunately it became something highly commercialized and practically lost the real purpose of giving gifts. Something that was highly ceremonial in nature, with its roots deeply buried on the exchange of fruitful interactions between mankind and the divine, was quickly transformed into an awful, suffocating business. And since contemporary times, we have completely crushed the beauty of this tradition. This is a rather short video, but I think it might be useful because it's intimately related with the concept of Megin or Megin, which I've made a video about it, and I recommend you to watch that one first and then this video, so you might have a better perception of what I'm talking about and the spiritual understanding behind the act of gift giving. So let's get started. Perhaps one of the most important aspects of paganism, what marks the real essence of pagan practices, is the act of giving something and receiving something else in return. Giving gifts, exchange of something material or non-material, in order to maintain a beneficial and profitable relationship with something or someone. The act of gift giving is the true essence of the pagan spiritual practices, the basis of the act of sacrificing something in order to receive something. When we think about giving or receiving gifts, we think about the material aspects. We have the tendency to underestimate this act and reducing it to trivial religious levels because of a growing society based on the materialism culture brought to us by industrialism. This materialism is a disease that completely prevents us from reaching a higher intellectual and spiritual level because it denies our senses and emotions, because we are focused on the material world, on a reality that is no more than a distorted illusion of the natural world. The act of gift giving was incredibly important to ancient civilizations with a world-accepting view. That is, civilizations concerned with life in this world and not in the next. Therefore, an understanding of gift giving is absolutely essential for any practitioner of old traditions, but most importantly, to reshape our worldviews. The act of giving gifts occupied an important part of the lives of ancient pagans, not only to maintain a healthy circle within the community and maintaining connections with the ancestors and the divine, but also noble virtues implicit in this act, such as hospitality, recognition, empathy. In practical terms, or in a sense of maintaining the bonds of friendship within the community, gift giving was the act of exchange something as a reward for special services. The lords, chieftains or kings were expected to reward their thanes, jarls, whoever contributed with services, being rewarded with gifts for their deeds. For instance, rings and arm rings are mentioned in various sources as one of such gifts, with which the lords were often known to give, showing their generosity and appreciation. It didn't matter the high social status. No one was immune to this obligation of reciprocity, exchange of favors, rewards for one's services and deeds. If someone contributed for the benefit of the community, would be rewarded. It's the simple notion of keeping someone happy by giving them a reward, a payment, to keep them loyal and not only a link of friendship is created, but also a link of obligation, because you only receive something if you give something else, and the circle of gifts is created, a circle of exchanging positive interactions. In the Norse myths we have Hudan and his ring Hrafnir, which has the ability to multiply itself, with which Hudan will always increase his wealth and will always have something to give in return to those who are loyal to him or become servants in any particular way, or become his favorites. Hudan rewards them with jewelry. What is implicit in this myth is the ancestral action of rewarding someone for what they give us, exchange, a fair trade, a balance. When tribes and kingdoms were in some kind of conflict, even at war, gift-giving had the possibility to build and maintain stability or even survival. Just like the wars between the Aesir and the Vanir, to form an alliance and end with the conflicts, hostages of great value were exchanged. And probably in some older myths, presents have also been exchanged. The Norse myths are filled with magical swords, boats, some sort of magical artifact, material things of great value that are exchanged as tokens of friendship or gratitude. Exchanging hostages was a way to ensure that the peace was kept. Otherwise, the hostages would be killed and conflict broke loose again. Gift-giving is, in some circumstances, was the only thing that could keep a tenuous peace, a very fragile peace. Thus, a gift given to a friend and the ability of another friend to correspond to that action could ultimately build alliances between families and clans, even tribes and kingdoms, ensure the protection of well-being and general peace even within one's own tribe or family. Giving a gift would be something that would allow even truces during a special occasion, leading to the creation of annual festivities only with this purpose of exchange of gifts and truces. If someone gives gifts to another person and they are accepted, but nothing is done in return, the likely scenario is that at least the one who gives gifts is likely to stop doing so. With this being said, it is up to those involved in this circle to determine what the appropriate action in relation to reciprocity is. So gift-giving created an obligation between two parties, and implicit in that obligation are the values of each person: hospitality, generosity, humbleness, honor. In many cases it didn't matter the value of a gift. What really mattered was the action of giving something and the values implicit in that action. This circle of gifts is based on mutual understanding and personal honor. Gift-giving could be made with something material or with services. What mattered was the exchange of positive interactions that strengthen the bonds of friendship. We are well aware of the opposite effect, or what not giving something in return can cause. The negative consequences of lack of feedback in these situations. The person who receives something but gives nothing in return may be seen as ungrateful, unreliable, and possibly not worthy of future and further interactions, even love and friendship. And this is a very delicate situation because one may consider it wise not to accept a gift that one does not have the desire or the ability to give something in return. The circle of gifts has the possibility to either strengthen or weaken the bonds between people, families, or communities. It can go with the simple action of giving something material or just the exchange of emotions, feelings, giving protection, attention, love to someone, and that person gives nothing in return, not even one single hint of affection or simply recognition for our actions, and then obviously the bonds, once created, become weak and break. This notion of gift-giving in the daily affairs of our pagan ancestors was easily brought to the spiritual and divine spheres, which is why I have mentioned previously and recommend you to watch my video about the concept of Megin. Megin is our essence, our energy, something that can be exchanged or passed on to an object or to someone. In a Northern European pagan sense, the gods have house Megin and humans have Megin, essence, spiritual force, spiritual might, strength and power. And in order to receive something from the gods, one must give something in return. And this was made by exchanging our Megin for the house Megin of the gods, or the Megin within the natural world itself and the spirits, and even the Megin of our ancestors. We give it to them and they give it to us. They gift us with enthusiasm, luck, strength, power, spiritual force and essence that we use for a variety of purposes. Not asking the gods to do things for us, but to give us spiritual force so we might do things for ourselves. But if we want them to gift us with Megin, we must give ours in return, creating a link between us and the supernatural. How was this done in pagan times? With rituals, offerings, sacrifices, putting our thought, our might, our spiritual force and essence in something and breaking it or burning or destroying to release the force in it and gift it to the gods. This was the entire purpose of sacrifices and offerings, to maintain a healthy relationship with the divine and the spiritual. We are our deeds, and the gods are concerned with such deeds, because our actions make us who we are, and through our actions we demonstrate our inner values. In a spiritual pagan sense, there was the belief that all living beings possess Megin. The Megin or main can be transferred from person to person. So we see the kings lending Megin to their men before entering any major venture. A man can also lose Megin through various circumstances. The Megin could also be manipulated through the various metaphysical arts such as Galdr and Seidr. Based on this belief of the Megin as a metaphysical force, we can better understand the reason behind gift giving and offerings and sacrifices, which in pre-Christian Scandinavia, both the religious and the spiritual was intimately tied with magic. In most cases, the great majority of religious actions in pre-Christian Scandinavia, it's almost impossible to separate the religious from the magical. Both aspects work together precisely because of this interaction between us and the divine, the exchange of spiritual might and force. So with this in mind, we can see the Megin as the exercising force underlying all actions within the religious activities. The offerings are made to the gods return the blessings in the form of Megin, the Megin produces a fortuitous result and we repeat this process for new blessings. Such is the entire purpose of the circle of gifts. So once again, I recommend you to watch the video I've made about Megin. Just click on this upper corner on the information icon and take a look. So you might better understand the concept of Megin and therefore the importance of gift giving. Alright my good friends, thank you so much for watching. This is the last video of 2018. This December also marks 2 years of this channel. It has been an interesting experience. So I would like to thank you all for being in here, all the support and feedback and the friendship I found with some of you. Since I officially became a YouTuber 2 years ago, a lot of things changed for the better. All thanks to you, because this channel would be nothing without all of you. Thank you so much. See you on the next year. Happy season and celebrations. And of course, as always, tack för idag.